I really want Nobu's crispy rice and tuna tartare, but I don't want to spend $27, so today we're gonna make it. First, get sushi rice and strain it for 2 minutes because we don't want suspicious particles. Now let the rice cook for 10 minutes and add water, rice vinegar, and marsala wine. Next, get some tuna. I got this whole thing for $6 and it is sushi grade, so don't come at me, and cut it up into really thin slices like this. For the sauce, add some mayo, sriracha, throw in your tuna, and mix it up, baby. To fry the rice, get a pan filled with oil and make a rice patty kind of thing like this. We're gonna cut it up later. After 20 minutes, cut it into bite-sized pieces. Add some scallions to your tuna tartare because it looks fancy. And here's the finished product. This is a super cost-efficient way to enjoy this dish, and it tastes amazing.
Flank steak fajita pinwheels. Oh yeah, let's do this. We're gonna start by butterflying open our flank steak into 2 even sides. Lathering it with some canola oil and seasoning it with my chipotle garlic seasoning. We're gonna fill it with some bell peppers, red onions, and top it off with some pepper jack cheese. Rolling it together nice and tight, we're gonna tie it off with some trussing string. We'll set it to the side, preheating our fire at 275, cooking it for about an hour till it hits 125 internal, resting it for 10 minutes, then searing it off for about 45 seconds per side. Slicing it up, I'm gonna top it off with enchilada sauce, but you can do what you want. Add some cilantro and you're ready to go. Find this recipe on my...
Day 6 of 25 potato recipes. We've got fondant de pomme de terre, or as I would call it, a potato fondant. Now, you want to peel your potatoes, get them cut down to the same length and a similar width if you can. Just trim them up as however you need to. Then get some butter into the microwave and then set it in the fridge. This is a quick way to clarify the butter. Poke a hole in it and get all that milky bit out and you've got clarified butter. Get some butter onto the heat, get your potatoes in there, bring it up nice and hot so they get a bit of colour on one side. Once they've got a bit of colour, add some stock into it. Flip them over, then you want to reduce that down by about half, add a cartouche on there as well. Once it's reduced down, you want to then keep it going until you're left with just the buttery bit and all that liquid from the stock has gone. You want your potatoes to stick to the bottom because that's what's going to give you the golden crispy bit. Once they can wiggle free, be very patient with them, don't try and pull them out, otherwise you will lose that crispy bit. Wiggle them out and eat them and enjoy your fondant.
We're making the best Thanksgiving stuffing. 1 Vidalia onion, boom. Chop your celery, boom. Chop your parsley, boom. Butter, olive oil. Add sliced mushrooms, pepper. Saute. Buy this in another saute pan. Break it up. Everybody goes to the party. Salt, lots of pepper. These are done, set them aside. Stick in a half a butter in a pot of water. Bring to boil. Keep going. 2 bags of the cubed stuffing. Shake it out, add it, mix it. Butter, mix it. Juicy and ready. Everybody goes to the party.
Everybody?
Everybody. Mix it in. Add the hot buttered water a little bit at a time. Mix. Keep adding a little bit at a time. Stop adding water when it looks like this. Bake at 350. 30 to 45 minutes. Done. Look at that. Best. Make it.
Yep, we're stuffing apple pie in a burrito because we have nothing better to do. And if you're not familiar with a chimichanga, it was born in the Southwest. It's basically a fried burrito, and you guessed it, it was inspired by Mexican cuisine, and we love to see it. Obviously, we're gonna want to saute some apples as if we're gonna pop her in a pie crust, but we're not because we're gonna add cream cheese filling that we season with confectioner sugar and cinnamon, and then put that all within a flour tortilla. And no, don't use a corn tortilla, just use a flour. Please just follow the recipe. Fold her up like those cute Chipotle boys, put a toothpick in so it doesn't fall apart, and fry it up. Now, this wouldn't be American if we didn't add more sugar, so we're gonna roll her around in cinnamon sugar and garnish with maple tahini sauce and pecans.
I had myself a little date night for one. I'm fine, don't ask. Anyway, I don't know if hanger steak is still considered trendy or underrated, but I like it, and we're gonna make it with some broccoli. I cut up some broccoli and some shallots and drizzled them with some olive oil. You could also use avocado oil, a little bit of garlic powder, red pepper flakes, a lot. And then some paprika, a little bit of salt, and black pepper. Then you're gonna roast them in the oven at 450 Fahrenheit while you're cooking your steak. It takes about 15 minutes, and finish them with some lemon juice. Now I'm heating up my cast iron pan with a good amount of avocado oil and putting down my hanger steak that I left out at room temperature for about an hour with some salt. After flipping it, I added some butter and garlic. If you had some rosemary or thyme, it would be a good time to add that. I tilted the pan and basted it in my garlic brown butter. I let it rest a couple minutes and finished with flaky salt. So good.
I have been wanting to try the Disney grilled cheese for a while, so here it is, the Kitchen Witch version. I took a 1/4 cup of mayo and half a clove of garlic, used a microplane to get that into a nice paste and mixed it well. And then I took a 1/3 cup of softened cream cheese, a 1/4 cup of shredded white cheddar, a little bit of chili flakes, and a nice pinch of some sea salt. On some Tuscan bread, I did 1 layer of sharp cheddar, about a tablespoon of that cream cheese mixture, and of course I had to add some hot honey. About a teaspoon. I wanted to be generous because I love the sweetness that this is going to bring. To top it off, we're going to add 1 layer of sliced provolone, put the other half of our sandwich bread, and then evenly coat each side with a generous amount of that garlic mayo. In a pan on medium-low heat, we're gonna fry this up until it's a nice golden brown and that cheese is melty and gooey. This paired perfectly with cabbage and tomato soup, and I have to be honest, this is probably
Saw a recipe for soft-boiled Korean mac eggs, but I wanted to try switching up some ingredients to make it super anti-inflammatory, and yeah, it went off. So to soft boil eggs, place them in boiling water gently. Gently is important, otherwise you might crack the eggs. Boil for exactly 6 minutes, like set a timer, and then place them in an ice bath, and you can peel them once they're completely cooled. For the sauce, I did half a cup of coconut aminos, and Bragg's is the best brand for this because it's thicker and a little sweeter, and just definitely use that one. And then a half cup of water, tablespoon of sesame seeds, a bunch of cilantro and green onions chopped up, 1 to 2 cloves minced garlic, extra virgin olive oil for extra anti-inflammatory benefits, and more salt is optional, but I just love salt. Poured all of that over the eggs and mixed in some greens with the leftover sauce, just because. Put all of that in the fridge overnight, and then I assembled it the next day with rice, green beans, avocados, sprouts, and a fuck ton more sauce. And like that already looks good, but then you cut it open.
Let's make fizzy carbonated fruit. Okay, let's put our watermelon, a couple orange slices, a few peach slices, a couple grapes, and a few blackberries. Then I'll put my nitrous oxide canister. Here's 1. Now I'll take this off and do a second, and here's 2. Now I'll refrigerate this. All right, baby, I'm gonna release. You can literally hear the fruit sizzling, listen. This grape is so carbonated, it's about to pop. And when I cut the grapes open, you can see the outsides have that carbonation. The blackberries are so fizzy, listen. That is so yummy, and it literally tastes like orange soda.
The infamous Crunchwrap Supreme, but make it vegan. I'm using spicy stewed black beans and homemade vegan queso. Pile it onto a burrito-sized flour tortilla and then a crispy corn tortilla in the middle. Top with loaded guacamole, shredded lettuce, more queso sauce, and grilled onions. Then fold it all up and griddle seam side down until golden and crispy. Flip it over to get the other side and then into a 350-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes.
Let's make white truffle pasta. This truffle is worth $1,000. White truffles are only in season for a couple months, and they're really expensive because dogs and pigs have to find them. Dump 2 cups of flour on your cutting board. Make a nice well in the middle. Crack 3 eggs and 2 yolks. Then add 2 tablespoons white truffle oil. Eventually, I can just combine it all together on the board. Once you've been kneading for 8 minutes or so, rest this in the fridge for 20 minutes. Lightly dust your work surface and place down your dough. Roll it out just a bit and start rolling it out. Then we'll turn it into fettuccine. Salt your water like the ocean, then add your pasta. Strain your pasta, but keep some pasta water. Add some white truffle butter and a bit of pasta water. Grate a little Parmesan cheese and just a pinch of white truffle salt. Add your pasta, more Parmesan cheese, more white truffle oil, and most importantly, some shaved white truffle. Yeah, this truffle pasta is worth more than me.
I promise you, if you make this mac and cheese on Thanksgiving, you're going to wow everybody at the dinner table. So today I'll be showing you guys how to make the best homemade mac and cheese. You're going to begin by adding 4.5 cups of heavy cream and 4 ounces of cream cheese to a saucepan, and let that come to a simmer on stovetop. We're using penne pasta instead of elbow macaroni. The ridges on penne allow the sauce to cling on better, which results in more flavor in each bite. But here I'm sauteing 1 small onion and about 6 cloves of garlic minced, and 1 stick of melted butter. I added about 2 tablespoons of flour and let that cook for a little. Then I added in our heavy cream mixture. Then for our cheese I added shredded cheddar, pepper jack, as well as freshly grated white cheddar. Seasoning with a teaspoon of garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and salt. Mix everything together well, then add in your pasta. I ended up adding in a little bit of turmeric, just to give our pasta a nice color. Then you want to add half of your pasta into your baking dish. Layer on some of our cheese, and add on the rest of our pasta, more cheese, finishing off with Italian breadcrumbs. Baked at 350 for about 25 minutes, and we're done. I'll be posting another mac and cheese recipe next week, so make sure you stay.
Armadillo eggs. Say what? That's right, armadillo eggs. Cream cheese, shredded cheddar cheese. Gonna go ahead and season that up, then stir that mixture together to combine. That's gonna be the stuffing for our jalapenos. Once we got that done, take your jalapenos, cut the stems off, Then we're gonna go ahead, remove the veins and all the seeds and want them nice, prepped, and clean. From there, we're gonna get these bad boys stuffed. I like to use my hands because I don't mind getting dirty. If you want, you could use a spoon. Do whatever works for you. Got some Black Hawk Farms ground beef. Gonna go ahead and get those jalapeno poppers stuffed and rolled in those. Rely on feel to get it wrapped properly. Traditionally, these are made with sausage. I also did them with sausage and ground beef too, but my camera died. Anyways, go ahead and get these on the smoker, 300 degrees for about an hour. The cheese is oozing out, and these are delicious. I hit them with a little bit of extra barbecue rub, dunk them in sauce, dip them, have fun with them, and enjoy. Bang Bang Flavor Gang.
Y'all, I had a birthday last Monday, and I just had to show you what my friend did for me. She is the queen of transparent pie, so she came over and made me a few. Now, you probably ain't never heard of transparent pie, but that's okay, because most people ain't. It originated up around Maysville, Kentucky. It's a well-known dish around them parts. They use it a lot during Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. But any time's good for a transparent pie. It mainly just consists of eggs, sugar, flour, vanilla, whipping cream, and melted butter. Now, we can't share that exact recipe with y'all because it's a well-kept secret around here. So you'll just have to watch and enjoy. I'm sure you could find one on Google, but it ain't gonna be like this one. And don't even try to be fancy and make a homemade crust because these taste much better than them frozen pie shells. We don't know the science behind it, but it works. And they are so beautiful when they come out. Look how brown, oh my gosh, and the inside. These are the best pies ever. Thanks so much, Paige.
One of the most compelling reasons to eat less animal products is to reduce our environmental footprint. According to the Natural Resources Defense Council, if the average American cut just a quarter pound of beef a week from their diet, which is about a hamburger, it would be the equivalent of taking 10 million cars off the road for a year. Together we can do this. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. Follow my page where I share daily recipes that are good for you and the planet.
Thanksgiving. I know it's hard to believe, but this recipe only calls for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ingredients. You can see back there I'm chopping some onions, just 2 of them, just a quick little julienne. Put them in the bottom of the pot. We're going to take that pork roast. Actually, I forgot to fill our thing up with salt, so that's just some salt there. Took our pork roast, just a Boston butt, put some salt on it, some chipotle peppers, and about 20 ounces of Dr. Pepper. Put it in the oven, 315 degrees, pull it out, pulls all the chipotles off, just because it's not that spicy. Some pork off the top for the kiddos that don't like the heat, and then just mix the rest of it in.